Welcome. This is Brad Waller, and today I'm going to talk to you about your health. I'm no health specialist, I'm not a diet person, none of that kind of health. This is more to the men in the audience, just kind of reminding you that you need to go to the doctor, take care of your health, that kind of thing. I'm actually on my way back from my annual skin check with my dermatologist. I go once a year. He looks at me, tells me everything's good. But the biggest problem with males in general, there are gender specific. Some women are like this, some men aren't. But so this is to those of you who fit the description that fits actually me. You don't go to the doctor. You don't want to go to the doctor. It's like, it'll pass, it'll get better, that kind of a thing. And, lots of times it does, but lots of times it doesn't. So you really need to make sure that you make those appointments. And my trick is I make the next appointment, no matter how far away it is, before I leave. And that way it's in my phone, in my schedule. So I have my next dermatologist appointment. It's in my phone. It's whatever the first Tuesday in February is in 2019. So my dermatologist appointment is done. When you go to your physical, you get a physical. Again, why do I have to get a physical? I feel just fine. I'm good. What do I need a physical for? When you leave that, go make your appointment if you haven't had one in 5 years. Go make that appointment, have your physical, and then before you leave, say, when should I make my next one? And sometimes they say, 5 years. It's like, okay, well, do your appointment books go out that far? Probably not. Even though they're computerized, sometimes they don't go out that far. So put it in your calendar anyhow and give yourself a far enough advance notice, or maybe put something into your calendar for 6 months in advance or 4 years after your appointment to remind you, make my appointment for my physical, and actually go ahead and do that. And, whether it be your physical, for those of us that are getting to be older, once you hit 50, you get a colonoscopy every 5 years. It's not fun. Actually, the colonoscopy is no big deal. It's the prep for the colonoscopy that is just horrible. You've got to drink like 4 gallons, it feels like, of liquid. It's really probably a half gallon of this prep stuff they give you that basically totally cleans you out so you're empty. And it's just so hard to drink that volume of liquid. That's my problem. If they could say, hey, just take this 1 glass of whatever, or take this pill, and then drink enough water so you don't get dehydrated, but otherwise you'll be fine, I wouldn't mind it. But it's like, all right, I've got to drink 16 ounces, and then in a half hour I've got to drink another 16 ounces, and it is just horrible. But you deal with it. Once every 5 years, I can deal with it. Obviously, if you have issues, if you've got a history of skin cancer, if you've got a family history of colon cancer, probably you get those more often, and you've got to deal with the pain even more often. But go to the doctor. My personal example of that, not a life-saving thing, but a number of years ago, I was sick and I wasn't feeling good, and it was lasting a while. My wife kept on saying, you need to see the doctor, you need to see the doctor. And finally I relented and I saw the doctor, and I made the appointment and described I had a high temperature, I had a fever. I don't remember all the symptoms anymore, but I went and talked to the doctor. They checked me out, and I gave them all of my symptoms. I described everything, and the doctor said, did you look this up on the internet before you came in here? And I said, no, this is what I am. He said, well, you just gave us a textbook description of pneumonia, and that is what you have. And one of the things they look at is they put one of those little things on your finger, and they look at your oxidation level of your blood, and it should be, normally if you're healthy, it's 99 or 100%. And mine was low, and they said, if you were 1% lower on your oxidation level or your oxygen level in your blood, pulse ox, if that was 1% lower, I'd be putting you in the hospital right now. But luckily, you don't have to do that. I'm just going to send you home, and I think it was like a full week, or maybe it was 2 weeks of bed rest. Yeah, like literally go home, don't do anything, which was a horrible thing for the kind of person like me to have to do. I did not deal with that at all well. But if I didn't go in, I probably would have ended up being hospitalized for that. I've got a friend who, had pain in his stomach and nausea and a fever, and the pain just got worse. But, he figured he could tough it out until one day he was like on the floor and almost unable to move and had to call 911 because his appendix burst. So don't ignore your body. Don't ignore those symptoms. Doctors are there for a reason. Obviously, you don't go there every time you have a sniffle, but you kind of do know when things are worse than normal. So don't forget to make those appointments. Go to the doctors. That's it. Brad Waller, signing out.